Assalamu alaikum, sister. Thank you for writing to our live session. As I understand your issue, about 6 or 7 years ago, you started praying and really trying hard to follow Islam. However, you started suffering from intrusive thoughts and OCD behaviors. So I'm wondering, sister, at that point when you were experiencing OCD behaviors and intrusive thoughts, did you get help? Did you see a counselor? Were you diagnosed? If not, I kindly suggest that you do pursue that path of setting up a counseling appointment. That would be the best course of action at this point, because it seems like the intrusive thoughts and OCD behaviors, which go hand in hand, are causing you a lot of problems, not only in your spiritual life, such as reading the Quran, but in other areas of your life as well. And it is treatable, and you're not alone. There's a lot of people who do have OCD and intrusive thoughts, if indeed that's what it is. It could just be anxiety, generalized anxiety as well, which is a spectrum that is related to OCD behaviors. So in order to get, proper diagnosis and treatment, you do need to see a therapist or counselor to be assessed. So I was reading where you did see a therapist or a counselor at one point online, but you felt like, you were having thoughts that you were embarrassed, or you will tell the therapist in the next session, or you don't need therapy. Those are just kind of like denial and deflection techniques, right? So if you really want to resolve this, sister, you have to make, a concrete effort to follow through. And I know that's hard sometimes, and sometimes you feel like maybe you don't need it, or you're embarrassed, or whatever other reason that you're making, but it's just prolonging the problem, right? So inshallah, just make a promise to yourself that you're going to follow through, you're going to get a therapist, you're going to get assessed and diagnosed, and you're going to participate in treatment. And that in itself is a big step, right? But it's part of the healing process. And I think once you do that and you get engaged in ongoing regular therapy, you'll see a huge change in your life in all areas, right? So getting back to having a hard time with tasks in your life, right? Such as, reading Quran, or staying up late, sleeping all day, eating snacks, skipping meals, being late. What I kindly suggest for that, which may or may not be a part of your possible intrusive thoughts and OCD, what I kindly suggest for that is that you make a schedule, right? And you write down the time of the day when you're supposed to get up, and you set your alarm, and you get up. And you go through your day with a schedule, right? Say 7 in the morning you get up, and then maybe 10 a.m. you go to school or you go to work. And then maybe at, I don't know what time you get home, but I'll say 5 o'clock you get home. So 5 o'clock you have dinner, 6 o'clock you read the Quran, 8 o'clock you do homework, or whatever it is. Make a list of the things you need to get done in the day. Write your time schedule and stick with it. Now, if you stick with it for one day, reward yourself with something, right? It might be a half hour of taking a nap, or it might be watching a half hour of a TV series, right? So you don't want to take away everything that you enjoy, but you don't want to feed into the addiction of just doing one thing, like watching TV series all day or sleeping all day. So reward yourself, but set a timer for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is, and stick to it. And if you've successfully done that for one day, that would be great. If you do that for a week, of course, that's even better. Because what you're doing is you're building up habit, right? And some researchers have found that it takes 30 days to break or to create a habit. So if you can stick to the schedule for 30 days, sister, you will have, hopefully, inshallah, distinguished the behaviors and the actions that you don't like, and you will have successfully created new connections in your brain cognitively to do the behaviors and the things that you want to do and you know you need to do. Now, this might be a little bit difficult if you do have OCD, so that's why it's going to be really important, right, to make an appointment with a therapist and get assessed, and be sure that you're getting the proper treatment, because it's going to have to go hand in hand. Because if you do have OCD, it's going to be really hard to stick to a schedule, and that's kind of what you're finding out right now. But I'm not sure if you had a strict schedule in place like I just outlined, or is just something that you were randomly trying. So, inshallah, try the strict schedule where you have every hour mapped out with what you're supposed to do and dedicate that time to that task, and then go on to the next, and don't deviate. The only time you can deviate really is if it's an emergency or if you're on a reward schedule, and you only get the reward if you successfully completed like one day, and then you will slowly build up from there. Regarding the Quran, right, that is going to be one of the key factors that helps you, blesses you, and helps you heal as well. And I will kindly suggest, sister, please don't feel intimidated or ashamed or